You know what time it is? It is what it is. Your boy Musa back at it again though. Today's video reaction is on the 10 dumbest lotto winners in the world. But check it out, man, how dumb these people were with the winning ticket. You get what I'm saying? Because I know if I won, what I would have done, buy myself a home that I own, cash, invest some of the money, save some, right? And then retire and live somewhere peaceful and take on my family. That's how I would handle it. Because I'll put some of the money away. I don't play with that, man. But anyway, though, before I start this video reaction, take a few seconds, subscribe, comment, like, and click the notification bell, and share and join the family. Always welcome, show your love, show your support. Let's get it!
10 of the dumbest lottery winners who ended up not being so lucky. Number 10. Denise Rossi. Greatest thing about the lottery is that you don't have to be a genius to win it. Take the case of Denise Rossi, who kept $1.3 million in winnings secret from her husband to avoid having to give him half of the money during their divorce settlement. She thought she was being clever, but she ended up screwing herself out of every last penny. In a shocking verdict, the District Court of Appeal ruled that she would need to turn over every last dollar to her estranged husband. This happened because of a family code statute which works to penalize any spouse who falsified data about their property. Basically, because Denise lied about how much money she had, she was penalized for lying and forced to hand over the entire jackpot. But here's the real kicker. Denise allegedly filed for divorce within weeks after winning the large sum. It seemed that she must have already hated her husband, and thinking she was going to be rich,
she was a millionaire. She tried to dump her husband. So if she didn't win, she would have stayed with her husband. Well, that's what she gets for trying to be petty, man. For trying to be real sneaky. Boy, split with a dude. I get what you're saying, but bro, if that dude was rich and he had a house and everything, and y'all own property together, I'm definitely sure the court would have given you 90% of the property and everything the guy owned. And the guy probably would have taken 25. And you would be fine with it. But when it comes to you, it's a different case. That shit is greedy.
Just get rid of him. In the end, it looks like Denise got what she deserved. Number 9. Callie Rogers. Callie Rogers was the youngest lottery winner in the history of Britain. At the age of only 16, she managed to win over $2 million. Damn. Imagine winning that much money at only 16 years old. You would probably go nuts and run out of money before you could even count it all, and yes, that's exactly what happened to Callie Rogers. She squandered the huge sum of money that could have changed her life forever by buying gifts for her family and friends and getting nonsense plastic surgery and going a little overboard in just about every aspect of her life. This makes sense considering before she won the lottery, she had been making only around $4 an hour as a checkout girl. Just weeks later, she moved in with a guy in a luxury bungalow, and he would soon become the father of her children. Fast forward down the road, it turned out that the guy who had been interested in a 16-year-old girl was a bit of a bummer. The relationship soured. Rogers had some serious issues with mental health. She had her children taken away from her, and her life turned to garbage. Plus, she ran out of money. Today, Callie Rogers is happier than she's ever been, making only around $15,000 a year. She has her kids, she understands the value of money, and she's even fighting to get the legal age limit for gambling in Britain raised to 18, claiming that nobody so young should suddenly win so much money. All right, Callie. What's the most you've ever won on a lottery ticket or scratch-off?
Based on the question you just asked, what is the highest money you've won on a scratch-off game? Because I know the highest I've won is like $100. Then I went to gamble again with it. Then I ended up getting $5 back. And I used it to buy myself like a bag of chips and freaking juice because I was like, damn, that sucks. But on some real, like, yo, as a kid, 16-year-old kid, if you win, you get what I'm saying? They wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I'm not expecting them to be that responsible. You know what I'm saying? So it's understandable, like, she blew all the money. Because she was young. She was underage. She don't understand the value of money, how money works.
Below, I think I've won like $5. And then be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Number 8. Alex and Rhoda Toth. Next, we have another couple who went from rags to riches and then back again. Alex and Rhoda Toth won $13 million in 1990 after Alex purchased a lottery ticket. At the time, their family had been broke and struggling just to survive. Even though Alex and Rhoda said in an interview after their big win that the money wasn't going to change them, it corrupted them absolutely. For whatever reason, the couple thought it would be a good idea to live in a hotel room for 3 months in Las Vegas, spending $1,000 a night on the room while gambling away massive sums of money. They bought everything in sight, then eventually got bored, purchased a home in Florida, and settled down with their kids. Of course, blowing all that money in the first place came back to haunt them pretty quickly. The IRS got involved, and it turned out the couple may have filed fraudulent tax returns, and Alex Toth faced fraud charges in 2008 before suddenly dying. By this time, absolutely nothing was left in the lottery winnings, and with Alex dead, Rhoda was forced to deal with the legal ramifications of fraudulent taxes and had to live in a home with no electricity, except for what they could siphon from a car engine. Basically, they went totally broke. Number 7.
Wow.
Jack Whitaker. Jack Whitaker got rich after he hit the Powerball jackpot in 2002. He won $315 million, and afterwards, his life became a complete mess.
315 million? Bro, that's a life changer. What? 315 mil? 350 mil. Bro, I'm retired for life. My generation is retired. Bro, all you gotta do is put two mil in the savings somewhere and spend 1 million. Was it 100 million? I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to finish all that. And plus, you use some to investment, you give some to your family, so on and so forth. Bro, you gonna be stacked with money. Buy real estate properties. You get what I'm saying? Invest in stocks.
He was 55 years old when he won what was at the time the largest United States lottery jackpot in a single ticket. He took the lump sum payment and made off with $113.4 million. Soon after, really wished that he had never won at all. First, his wife left him. Then a family friend was found dead from a drug overdose in his home. And just a few months later, his own granddaughter died. Then a few years later, his daughter died. In 2016, he lost his home to a fire, and throughout this entire time, he struggled with drinking and gambling. Plus, people in his neighborhood must have known he was rich because his home and his car were repeatedly broken into and burglarized. While hanging out at a strip club, Jack had his Lincoln Navigator robbed and a suitcase with $245,000 in it stolen. Basically, it seemed like the world was out to get him. Of course, this wasn't the universe playing a mean trick on Jack. After all, who leaves a briefcase with $250,000 in their car while visiting a strip club? It doesn't sound very smart. Whitaker ended up being charged twice for driving under the influence. 3 female casino employees accused him of violent assault, and he eventually became known as a lunatic who won the lottery. Then in 2020, Jack Whitaker died at the age of 72. Was that lottery ticket cursed or what?
No.
Number 6.
To me, that's him being irresponsible and him not really understanding the position he's in now. You get what I'm saying? That's him not being responsible for himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other stuff that happened, you losing family member, that's life. Life just happened like that. You get what I'm saying? Life throw you a curveball all the time. You feel me? So him, just he should have figured a way how to deal with his pain and everything. He just started wasting money, drinking, one night. You could have been donating the money. You could have been doing good things. You could have been donating to like orphanage and stuff like that. That could bring you more happiness. You get what I'm saying? But not sit there and drink and, you know, not hold yourself accountable for a certain action that you make. By
Jonathan Vargas. Jonathan Vargas won the Powerball jackpot of $35.3 million at the young age of 19. Not long after winning, multiple threats were made on his life, and he ended up needing to hire a bodyguard. Apparently, Jonathan was warned by some of his trusted friends that word was spreading about his winnings. Jonathan lived in South Carolina and was a construction worker before he got rich, and supposedly some of the people in his neighborhood were plotting to get that money for themselves. Jonathan took the lump sum payment, narrowing his winnings down to only a paltry $17 million, and he was even contacted by the executive producers of Dr. Phil. But according to the report from the Seattle Times, Jonathan was just a little fed up with all the attention. He didn't want exposure in his neighborhood, but he got it anyway. This just goes to show that no matter how well you think you know someone, if you get a whole lot of money in the bank, they might be coming after you. Yeah. Jonathan Vargas never did get attacked by anyone he knew, but it's still pretty unfortunate that he had to live his life in fear because of the greed of others. Number 5. Amanda.
What I would have done when I received the money. You get what I'm saying? If I win, bro, wear ski masks, wear a sweater, wear gloves. You know what I'm saying? Cover your whole body up and go to the lottery headquarters. Go receive your money. I'm not showing my face. You could use my first name, but you can't use my last name. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving location where I live. I receive. You know, some of these people, they want to receive their attention like, oh, I'm rich, and brag about it. You get yourself exposed that way. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know how many people are in the corner waiting to plot on you and get your money. I cover, they won't know who the hell I am. They won't even know whether I'm black or I'm white or I'm Asian or whatnot. Bruh, I just received the money. You get what I'm saying? You take a picture with me with a cash, you're gonna see me wearing a ski mask and gloves, and you know who I am, what race I am. That's how I receive it. And I make sure that I'm money in my bank account. I sit quietly for 2 months, and I slowly stop showing up for work. I slowly start moving to a different state, and then changing my phone number. You feel me? Changing my social media. Why? Screw that. And I will help the right people who've been with me. I help them donating money and whatnot. But bro, these people don't know how to move, man.
One of the strangest cases of dumb lottery winners ever was Amanda Clayton in 2011. First of all, the really bizarre thing was that after winning the state's lottery $1 million Make Me Rich game show, she continued to take her food stamps. Talk about a frugal
That's greed. That's
why
greed,
buy food with your millions if you can get it for free with food stamps? Unfortunately, life didn't go very well for Amanda Clayton. She ended up being charged by the Michigan Attorney General for felony welfare fraud. She got sentenced to 9 months of probation and then was forced to repay over $5,000 in food and medical assistance that she had taken even after winning the lottery. But wait, things got worse. Just 1 year after her winnings, she was found dead by police at somebody's home in a course, according to USA Today. There were no immediate details released by the police other than the fact that a suspected drug overdose was to blame. Imagine living your whole life and working hard only to win big and have the opportunity to live like royalty and then die a year later from taking illicit substances in some random house. Hey, you know what they say, mo money, mo problems. Number 4. Roger Griffiths and Laura Griffiths. They say that most divorces are the product of money problems, but the truth is that too much money can also cause problems. Take the case of Roger and Laura Griffiths, who had lived with their 2 daughters in West Yorkshire. The couple struck it big with a $2 million lottery win, and both Roger and Laura quit their jobs. They moved into a
job for $2 million. I mean, bro, you buy a house here in New York with $1 million. You left with $1 million, right? Not even left with $1 million because you gotta pay property tax. You gotta pay taxes, foreclosures, and all this yada yada. Bro, I would not quit my job for $2 million. I mean, yes, it's $2 million, but $2 million ain't gonna like take care of me for the rest of my life. It's not enough. You get what I'm saying? Because the moment I buy a house and I invest some of the money, I still gotta work, man. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, $2 million is nothing.
Barn conversion. One drove a Porsche and the other drove a Lexus. They went on holidays in Dubai, Rome, Monaco, and other amazing places. But while things seemed okay on the outside, they were anything but. Laura Griffiths recently told the Daily Mail about how their lottery win destroyed their lives. After getting rich, they made some seriously bad decisions, ended up running out of money quicker than anticipated and ruining their marriage. Plus, Laura blames Roger for everything. Today, Roger apparently has $10 in the bank and lives alone in a tiny cottage and sleeps on a sofa. He of course claims that it was Laura who made them go broke, and the hard truth about the story is that Laura did a whole lot of shopping and Roger did a whole lot of spending, and together they did a whole lot of ruining each other's lives. Number 3. Jose Cueto.
Yeah.
The story of Jose Cueto is a classic one. Jose was a native of Guatemala who entered the United States illegally in 2000. He also won $750,000 on a lottery ticket. This guy won a lottery ticket in a country he was illegally staying in, and that must have been really frustrating. He purchased the ticket in 2010, and then had a friend of his named Eric claim the winnings on his behalf because he was worried about being deported from the country and not getting any of the money. But as you can probably already tell, things didn't go quite the way Jose was hoping. The guy who was supposed to be his friend instead claimed that he was the rightful owner of the ticket and tried to claim all the money for himself. I mean, we can't say we didn't really see that one coming. I mean, at this point, Jose was probably super mad. He may have been an illegal immigrant, but did he really deserve that? Jose took the matter to court, and a jury ended up awarding ownership of the ticket to Jose, despite him being an illegal immigrant. He ended up winning after tax $517,000.
The most suckiest friend there is, man. On some real, like, bro, you could have just claimed the money for him, right? And he probably would have given you $100,000 or $50,000, bro. That's way more than what you probably had in the bank. And for you to just snatch that money and just, that's a shitty friend. Listen, man, I never fight with anybody over money. I never try to scheme anybody out of money, nothing like that, man. I like money, but money ain't everything. Money ain't gonna influence my character for me to be an asshole. Nah, I don't play that game. You feel me? I have my own set of rules and principles I follow. But look like some people don't. But damn, this got to be the most dumbest people, man.
$500, and he was also awarded over $200,000 in attorney's fees and $25,000 in punitive damage. He ended up doing quite well for himself, and apparently it all came down to video footage that showed him physically buying the ticket, not the guy who tried to steal it from him. As for the would-be thief, he had actually spent a significant amount of money already on himself along with his wife. They literally robbed this poor man and then still tried to fight him in court. The judge was adamant about making an example of Eric, and so that's why there was $25,000 awarded in punitive damages. Number 2, John Ross Jr. John Ross Jr. won the California Set for Life game in March. He should have been left with $70,000 every year for the next 20 years of his life, and that's after tax. At the time of his winning, he even told CBS News that he really planned to put his life in order. However, the guy got off to a rough start. He won the lotto in March, and by December, Ross apparently had to use some of his winnings to bail himself out of jail. He was linked to a stolen Honda Civic, which he allegedly helped hide and repair for the woman who stole the car. Imagine winning enough money to set yourself up for life and then continuing with a life of petty crime. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Wow.
And hopefully John Ross Jr. really got himself together after that. Number 1, Sharon Tirabassi. Our final story in today's video is Sharon Tirabassi, a woman who won $10.5 million and 9 years later was flat broke. She was the winner of the Hamilton Lotto, and after rolling in dough for almost a decade, she finally ran out of funds. She ended up having to take a bus to her part-time job just so she could support her children and pay her rent. And just to interject here for a second, you would really think that one of the first things a person would do when winning all that money would be to buy a vehicle outright, so they wouldn't ever have to take a bus again, right? But apparently that just wasn't in the cards for Sharon. She really could have used a financial advisor in the beginning because with the
Financial advisor, bro? That's the first thing you do. Like, you know, besides buying a home, you buy a car. Do you tell me she was spending her money while walking around? That don't make sense. You gotta be the most dumbest person to think that way or to act that way.
months, she was purchasing houses, designer clothes, trips, loaning money to friends, and handing over cash to her family. According to Sharon herself, she would sometimes check her bank account to see how much money she had, but she always saw how many zeros that she had and she just didn't care. That was until one day when she realized there weren't very many zeros left. She then claimed it was time to stop having fun and just go back to a normal life. For Sharon, a normal life apparently meant waiting at the bus stop and struggling at a low-paying job. But things aren't all bad. After all, money really can't buy a person happiness. And Sharon says she's happier today living paycheck to paycheck than she ever was when all she did was shop. She claims that now she feels like she has more of a purpose in her life. But then again, maybe she's just sour. She squandered all of her money. What would you do?
That's what it is. She's sad because she's. What else she gonna say that I'm not happy? You have no choice but to say you're happy. And you tell me you're happy because you're getting day-to-day check? But hell no, bro. Come from a dude like me? Working day-to-day check, boy? Nah, that ain't happiness, boy. That's labor. That's struggling. You get what I'm saying? She is struggling, man. She knows she messed up. She knows she messed up big on that, man. But damn, that's crazy, man. Guys, comment below, man. If you won $352 million, or let's say 10 mil, what would you do? What would be the first thing you spend your money on? Comment below, man. I wanna know you guys' opinion about this, though. Comment below. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video reaction, take a few seconds, subscribe, comment, like, and click the notification bell, and join the family, guys. Do not forget to share this video, and I appreciate your support. Anyway, Musa,